Hey there, yoga fans. Daily dose number 8. And today I'm going to take you through a nice little gentle flow using blocks to assist in the transitions and getting into the different postures, the different asanas. So if you have blocks, go ahead and grab them and send them toward the front side of your mat. And then go ahead and come on down on hands and knees. We're going to get started with some cat and cow. Kind of that gentle warming, that gentle waving of the spine. We want to have our wrists underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips here. And before we get going, feel what it feels like to kind of push down and forward on the floor, down and back into the shins. As you exhale, when you feel that, like you're trying to stretch the mat, that's what we want to feel every time that we come into our cat pose. As we tuck the tailbone under and tuck the chin, we want to feel that pressing and extending. And then we reverse that as we inhale, coming into the back, then we feel a gentle pulling. So we tilt the tailbone, and that little bit of traction pulling the heart forward helps to open up the heart, open up the belly on the breath in. So starting to move with our breath here. Take a nice breath as you inhale, find that back bend. Rolling the pressure into the fingertips, we stay off the heel of the hands. And as we exhale, we curl it up and under, tuck the tailbone. Push down and forward. Feel it. Finding 4 or 5 breaths here. We always just move gentle at our own pace. We want to feel fluid. Fluid with the breath. Going with the flow. Another round or so. Finding a little deeper back bend. Each breath in. Should feel good. We'll come into that natural neutral spine for a second, maybe wiggling the hips out just a little bit. You can always do the hula hips, that feels good to my body. We'll go ahead and take a second, kind of roll these wrists out a little bit. Just gently kind of turning the fingers to the sides, turning the fingers toward the back. This action is kind of stretch and oh yeah. Matter of fact, go ahead and point the fingers back as long as that's not uncomfortable, and then see about taking that gentle back bend. Oh, that feels pretty good. Stretching those wrists out. And then we'll set ourselves up for a downward facing dog. Palms are wide. We're always kind of checking that crease through. So a lot of times we tend to turn the hands in a little bit too much. We want to actually kind of wrap the armpits back. So we're rolling the bicep toward the front. We're checking the crease of the wrist to be parallel with the front of the mat. The pointer finger's pointing forward here. Take a breath. Toes are turned under. Take a breath to extend through the shoulders. And as you exhale, it's engaging the core. It's driving back. We're pushing the heels away from each other. And our down dog, as we inhale, we extend long through the shoulders. And then we soften. As we exhale, we soften the shoulders, kind of armpits wrapping under a little bit. Oh, yeah. It's okay to have the knees bent here. It's okay to pedal them out. But if we can't, we're squeezing the quads to straighten the legs, and we're driving the heels away from each other a little bit. That helps create internal rotation of the thighs that helps open up space in the lower back. Tilt the tailbone to the ceiling as you inhale. Lengthen it out once more. Soften through the shoulders and the back of the neck. Nice Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. For a nice breath in, and then we'll go ahead and bring our knees down. Nice and easy. We're going to grab our blocks. We're going to have them handy. Here, we're going to go ahead and slide that right foot forward. Here we want to make sure we have our feet about hip distance apart. Right knee stacked, that back foot's down. We're setting ourselves up for a low lunge. We want to come up. If we're real tight, we can always have our hand here. See what you can do as you inhale to just kind of turn the palms up and take them back a little bit. Settling into the hips. If the knee is real tender, we can always keep that pressure here, or we can stick a little towel underneath there. That can feel good too. If we can, we're here. Opening, expanding, and then softening down into those hips. Oh, that feels pretty nice. A nice breath in and out. If you want to go a little deeper as you inhale, look up, reach up. We're in our low lunge, our Anjaneyasana, opening up the hip flexor a little bit, opening up the psoas. A nice breath in, and then go ahead and let those fingers come down. Find the blocks. we're here. We're opening up the hips a little bit before we come into our warrior one. We want to go ahead and straighten up that back leg like it's going to be in a low lunge. We're not going to come into the low lunge, but we want to feel it for a moment. Press back through the heel and lengthen through the top of the head as you inhale. And then go ahead and roll that heel down. Maybe we need to shorten the stance up if it feels long. We want to have that back foot at about 45 and squeeze the quad, drive down and back. Here. Finding ourselves stable. And then we inhale. We can always have the knee here to come up nice and slow. Find your stability. Take the arms wide. We can have goalpost arms. If it feels good, reach high. A nice big Y. Warrior one. Feel the legs work here. The feet are pushing into the floor and away from each other a little bit to try to, kind of like we're stretching the mat. That helps keep us stable. The ribs want to lift up, but we keep the bottom ones kind of tucked in. So we're not in the back bend. We're here, keeping the trunk strong. Soften the shoulders as you exhale. Feel the shoulders relax down into the hips, from the hips relaxing down into the feet and grounding down as we, at the bottom of the breath, engage the pelvic floor. Mula Bandha. As we inhale, draw up and in. Feel that lift. Tuck the chin a little bit. One more nice big breath in, warrior one. And as you exhale, come forward. Try and roll the belly button forward. Come forward, find those blocks, and then go ahead and shorten your stance up a little bit. Wiggle the hips out just a touch. So let that front leg get a little bit of love. Drop them down to our knees. We're switching sides. You want to go ahead and slide that left foot forward. Stacking the knee right up above the ankle. We're about hip distance apart. That back knee's just behind the hips just a little bit. Toes are turned on top of the foot down. Take that second. Find your stability, pushing down and away. And then if we feel stable, we can always have our hands here, or we're going to take them wide. When we roll the palm toward the ceiling, it opens up the shoulder just a little bit. It helps to broaden the chest and the collarbones. Settle down into the hips, stretching out that right quad, stretching out the hip flexors. If we feel good and stable here, we inhale and look up and reach up. And then we soften the shoulders, settle into those hips a little bit more. Anjaneyasana, the low lunge. It feels good. If it doesn't, come up out of it just a little bit. Just teasing the edge of comfort. Just a breath or two more. Reach long as you inhale. And then go ahead and let those fingers float down and find the blocks. Turn the back toes under. Rocking out those hips just a little bit. We're setting ourselves up here. As we inhale, we're going to drive into the ball of the back foot, and we're going to lengthen from the heel to the top of the head. On a slow breath in, extend, settle down into the hips. Can you feel that stability, that strength by pushing into both feet? We roll that back heel down. Maybe we shorten our stance. We're finding stability. And as we inhale, slowly starting to come up, we can always have that knee. Taking the hands high, softening the shoulders, settle into the hips. Feel the feet push into the floor and away from each other to create that stability. As we inhale, drawing up and in, energetically engaging the pose. Virabhadrasana 1, the warrior one pose. Virabhadrasana was a great warrior, and so are we. We're building warrior strength in the foundation, warrior strength in the legs. Here in our warrior one, for 3 to 4 breaths. Just another breath or so. Slow breath in, reach high. It'd be long as you exhale, start to kind of roll the belly button, lead with the heart slow. Come down, find the blocks. Bring that back foot in just a little bit. Shorten the stance, wiggle the hips out. Go ahead and come on down. Find ourselves back, setting up for a downward facing dog. Down dog doesn't feel good. See what it feels like. This time, just leave your knees on the floor, walk the hands out, and extend again, kind of reaching back, and then coming into a nice deep child's pose. That can feel good. Otherwise, we're going to be here extending as we exhale, engaging the core, and driving the heels back toward the floor. Downward facing dog once more. We're building a lot of strength here. We don't have to stay long. but we want to check our form. As we inhale, we extend from the wrists through the armpits, long. As you exhale, soften the neck and the shoulders and drive the feet, the heels toward the floor. We're pushing into the outside edge of the feet. Just one more nice breath in and out, and then gently soften those knees down. Here, coming into our child's pose. This time taking our knees wide, crawl the fingers out a little bit. A nice breath in and out. Take a big breath. Lift the ribs, crawl the fingers out a little bit. And on this next breath out, as you exhale, press your wrist and close your ribs strongly. Should find a nice stretch there. Before we breathe deep and release any tension in the back of the neck, soften completely. When we let go of tension, it helps optimize the circulation. It's that circulation our body needs to help the muscles regain elasticity. Slow, deep breathing to get the oxygen it uses to repair damaged tissue. Just a breath or so here. In our child's pose. Coming up nice and slow on a breath in. Setting ourselves up. We're going to come back up into our warrior stance once more. Here we've got our blocks. We're going to step that right foot forward. Go ahead and take a breath. Lift that back knee up. As you exhale, ground down. The back foot's at 45. Find yourself here. A breath or so. And then see what it feels like as you inhale to extend that front leg. So the back leg's just like warrior one. Now the front leg's extending too, and we're rolling. We're connecting the outside of the hip to the arch of the foot, that internal rotation helping to stabilize the hips. We've got our blocks here. We can be on the floor. We want the chin tucked. We want to be just about parallel. Find that length on the breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly starting to soften, starting to round down over that front leg just as much as it feels good. We don't want to hyperextend the knee. We want to keep it active and engaged. We're here. Kind of see what it feels like as you inhale. Kind of roll the hips to the right a little bit. And as you exhale, release through the center. Oh, yeah. Take a slow breath. Roll the hips to the left a little bit. And then release to the center. Taking a breath, coming up to that half lift position. We're kind of pushing down and pulling the shoulder blades down the back. We're here. We were in our Parsvottanasana. It's the same foundation for our revolved triangle, the pyramid pose to the revolved triangle. Take that breath in to pull the chest forward to create space for a twist. Feel that lengthening. Feel some stability, keeping grounded into the feet. On your next breath, as you exhale, ground into that left hand. And then inhale slowly. Push off the block. Roll the right shoulder open. A nice, glorious revolved triangle. Pravarta Trikonasana. Can you feel the legs work? Can you broaden across the chest? We're here just a few breaths. Enjoying the twisting. Twisting very good for the body. Exhaling to slowly release it down. Softening that knee a little bit. Dropping that back knee down. And we're here. We can wiggle the hips out. Feel pretty good. Giving our bodies a little bit of love today. Sliding the left foot forward. Setting ourselves up for that warrior foundation. Feet are about hip distance. Takes a breath to lengthen heel to head. And we're still grounding there. We want to roll that back heel down and find that strong, stable back leg. Feel stable here like the warrior one. And then as you inhale, slowly extend that front leg just as much as you can. If it doesn't want to go straight, shorten the stance a little bit. That's okay. Then squeeze the front leg. Strong. We're connecting. Again, the outside of the hip is kind of rolling, spiraling down in, grounding through the arch of the foot. We want to tilt the tailbone. Belly button rolls forward. Tuck the chin. And as we inhale, try to envision lengthening through the top of the head for our Parsvottanasana, our pyramid pose. We find that breath in, the legs are stable, and then slowly we start to roll the belly button down, start to soften the back of the neck and the shoulders. Nice. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. And we play with the hips a little bit. It's okay to move around a little as you inhale, kind of roll the hips clockwise a little bit. And then soften in through the center, taking a breath to roll the hips the other way a little bit. Ooh, it feels good. Soften to the center. When we're in the pyramid pose, we want to kind of try to feel that level center. We're here coming into a half lift as we inhale. We're extending. The feet are pushing into the floor away from each other. Try to feel that. Take a couple of breaths to create the space for the twist. Lift the ribs up. As you exhale, ground into that right palm. And then slowly inhale and roll the left shoulder open. Nice and big. Nice big twist here. Pushing off the block. Expanding the chest. Feeling the legs still being active here. The neck is tender. We can always look down. But otherwise, we're trying to look up. We're trying to tuck that chin toward the armpit. Just a few breaths in the revolved triangle or Parivarta Trikonasana. Expand a big breath in. Exhale to slowly soften that front knee as we float it down. Dropping that back knee down. Once more, we're here. Letting the blocks find the floor with the hands. Kind of rolling back through the hips just a little bit. That feels pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way down onto our seat. Nice and easy. Here we are. Setting ourselves up for the bound angle for our Baddha Konasana. We're going to kind of stretch our hips out just a little bit here. I want to bring those feet in just as much as we can. We're here. We've got our hands here, or we've got them on the wrist. And then as we inhale, we're kind of pulling that chest forward, pulling the shoulders back. The action here is to roll that lower back forward as much as we can. It's like trying to find a back bend, that gentle dish from the lower back to the top of the head. And as you exhale, try just gently pulling the elbows in toward the ribs. We're not even trying to come forward yet. See what it feels like as you inhale to flex your knees toward the floor. Ooh, hello, hips. Coming in just a little more, and then go ahead and let those fingers crawl out. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just as much as it feels good, go ahead and start to soften, kind of one vertebrae at a time, relaxing down into it. Just a little bit. Here in our bound angle, our Baddha Konasana, our butterfly pose. One day the nose comes down to the toes. That's okay. It doesn't really matter where we're at. We want to be comfortable. Maybe we're wiggling the hips just a little bit. That's okay too. A few breaths here. And then we always come up nice and slow on a breath in, tucking the chin. Sitting tall. Now, if sitting in this position is not comfortable, we do always have the option to sit up on a block. I would encourage you to try that sometime. If that was not comfortable, try sitting here and then just coming forward a little bit and see how that feels. Working ourselves, again, these 20-minute videos, got to move through a little bit quicker. If you ever have any questions, please just post in the comments. I'll do my very best to answer. We're going to go ahead and come back up onto our hands and knees. This time we're going to stretch our pigeon pose just a little bit. I take that back. We're not going to do it on our hands and knees. We're going to do it on our back today. We're going to take our Supta Kapotasana, our reclined pigeon pose. So we want to go ahead and make our way down onto our backs nice and easy. We're going to pick the right foot up, cross it over the left knee. And we're going to kind of reach up. We're going to grab for the hamstring, or we're going to reach up and we're going to grab for that knee. Reaching underneath that right leg. Try to let your neck be long, shoulders relaxed. Take a nice breath. And as you exhale, gently squeeze that knee in. Feeling a nice stretch on the outside of that hip. We can rock side to side just a little bit. We can even use that right elbow to kind of push the right knee out just a touch, or massage the inside of that upper right thigh. Always just an option. Here, if it feels good and you want to, you can always extend that leg. You can always reach here. Got a lot of options. Our Kapotasana, our pigeon poses, doing a lot to help stretch the outside of that hip. Take a breath, squeeze it in. Nice and snug, teasing that edge, and then as you inhale, let it off a little bit. Can you feel the circulation come in? Just another breath or so here. We're going to go ahead and let that left foot go long. Keep a hold of the right knee. We're setting ourselves up for a twist. We want to take the knee wide on the ribs, pull it up toward the shoulder, just rolling it around a time or two. Take a nice breath in. Left hand, right knee. As you exhale, pull that knee across the body. You can kind of roll up onto the side if that feels good, or we can reach out big with that right hand. As we inhale, we're lifting the ribs, finding ourselves in that nice supine twist. Oh, it does feel good. Just a few breaths here. Try to soften through the lower back. Close the eyes and feel. Can you relax the neck and the shoulders? Relax the ribs, the hips, the space between the ribs and the hips. Taking another breath or so, letting go, softening that lower leg. Let go of any tension in the glutes. Just a breath in and out. As we exhale, we're engaging the core, pull the belly button in. As we inhale, we roll back to the back. Pull that knee in. Forehead to knee, and then gently release. Taking the arms above the head, reach out nice and long. Let go of any tension. Just a breath or so. Moving along here. We're setting up for the second side. We're sliding the heels in toward the seat. We're picking the left foot up over the right knee this time. Opposite, second side. Reaching up for that right knee. A nice breath in. As we exhale, we're squeezing the knee in nice and snug. Neck stays soft. Find that stretch that feels best to your body. A little side-to-side action can feel good here. Yeah, I like that. Hello, gluteus medius, piriformis and company, the external rotators, the hip abductors. A few breaths. Squeeze it in snug. And then gently release it off just a little bit. See if you can feel the sensation of circulation. Pulling it back in, one more full breath out. Strongly engaging the core and then releasing that right leg. Letting it come down, go long, keeping a hold of the left knee. Take it wide on the ribs. Gently pull it up toward the shoulder. Roll it in toward the midline. Doing that a time or two. A big breath in, right hand, left knee. As we exhale, we're pulling the knee across the body. We can roll all the way up onto the side if that feels good. Or we can inhale, expand the chest and reach out with the left hand. Nice and big here. Twisting. We lift the ribs as we inhale. And then soften the neck and the shoulders. Soften the ribs. Soften the lower back. Let go of any tension in the hips. Breathe deep and release the glutes. Soften the lower leg. Twisting is really great for our body. Helps gently compress the belly, helps stimulate digestion, elimination, and therefore detoxification of the body. A nice breath in and out here. As you exhale, pull the belly button in tight. Engage the core. Keep that engagement. As we inhale, we slowly come to the back. Exhale, pulling the forehead toward the knee. Inhale, lengthening out nice and big. Reach long. Exhale, both knees pull in. Give yourself a little hug. We can rock and roll ourselves up onto our seat. And here we are. Once again, my friends, I thank you. It is a privilege and a pleasure for me to share yoga with you. Yoga is my passion. And it's an honor for you to be joining me. So thank you. I hope you have a very terrific day. Namaste.